impossible. It is impossible to summarize Marla's long history of work with families and kids in 3 minutes. So I will give you the Cliff Notes version. Marla has a bachelor's degree in sociology and psychology, a bachelor's degree in social work, and an honors degree in sociology. She has about 30 plus years of experience working with families and children. And for the last 23 years, 24 years, she's been working in Lloydminster, first at Catholic Family Services. And for the last last few years, 12 years, 14 years, I don't know how long, Marla, she's been working, she is care counseling, where she's done a lot of work with families, with children, with parents. So she really is well-rounded, and we are really privileged to have you here, Marla, and to share some of your experience and wisdom with us.
Well, I'm really excited to be here, and thank you very much for introducing me. Yes, I've been a registered social worker for 35 years. And I have, like Lindy said, worked in diverse areas in child protection, in family programs, all kinds of work. I've done adoption. I do adoption home studies, and I write custody and access assessments. So I've worked a lot over the many years with parents, and I've interviewed literally hundreds of children who are the subject of separation and divorce. So I'm also a 61-year-old mom and grandma. I have 4 adult daughters, and I have a special needs son who's still at home. My children are away now. They have their own homes, 2 of them in the yard with my grandkids. I'm really excited about that. And so that's kind of me, so professionally and personally. So I guess the first thing I wanted to ask everybody, and I don't know if you just want to give a thumbs up, or if everyone wants to just unmute for a moment. And I wanted to ask, has anyone in the group taken the Parenting After Separation and Divorce, or the High Conflict Parenting After Separation and Divorce? How many participants here have taken either of those courses? Okay, I highly recommend that. I believe that if you're in Saskatchewan, you can order this program online. I think it's free through Family Justice Services, but don't quote me. There is also the High Conflict Parenting. Now, this one, I'm not clear whether or not it has to be court ordered in order for you to take it. Most of what I would say to you comes out of, most of what I do comes out of this information. In fact, when I write custody and access assessments and give recommendations to judges for Court of Queen's Bench in family court, and I'm letting judges know what I think would be the best arrangements for families, and how parents can behave and act, I guess, dictate what they need to do in order to co-parent. Most of it comes out of here in the recommendations. I might as well be a taped recorder in most of the assessments, because it's all the same, it seems, with most families. So I highly recommend that you find a way to take this course. It tells you what to expect in separation and divorce, how it affects children, and how to help children. So it's really good. All right. The next thing I wanted to do before I get into any presentation, I was wondering if I could just get, if everybody has an idea of what they wanted to get out of this presentation, would they be willing to share what their main goal was? Did anyone have anything in particular that they wanted to learn?
Maybe we could even just put it in the chat.
Oh, okay, hang on a minute. Chat.
Okay, Marla, how about you continue and I'll watch the chat.
Thank
And then
you.
if there are
Okay.
any questions or comments, I will signal you and just intersperse them.
Okay, so my understanding is that what you were interested in knowing is how to support children when there's been separation and divorce, correct? That is the topic. Okay, so I wrote down a few key things because I'd really want to spend a lot more time on letting people ask questions. I think we can get a lot of valuable learning that way instead of me droning on, because I do have some really important things that I want to say that I've learned over a 35-year career working in this field. The first thing I want to say again is what like Kate's presentation of how she's doing separation and divorce and supporting the children is bang on, because it's really, really, really important to support your children is to promote amicability between partners, amicable co-parenting. It's the absolute key in supporting your children. Now, it takes two to be amicable. So if the other party isn't amicable, that's out of your circle of influence. You do the best you can. You do everything you can to be that amicable co-parenting. I absolutely love what Kate said. She was bang on what she's doing. If you're struggling with negative sentiment because of what's happened in your relationship, your separation and divorce, I highly, highly encourage you that you can't support your children until you support yourself. So it's very, very important that you develop with a counselor, with someone professional, to help you develop a positive sentiment towards the history that you had with your partner and the current state of access, exchanges, and how that impacts you, how the other person is behavior is impacting you. So I can't say enough about that.
So Marla, sorry, I'm yes. Going to interrupt you there for a second. The first question was, and you've just touched on that, right? How do I help my kids be happy when I am not? And
okay. So, would it be okay if I just kind of did my little spiel and sure. Then I'll answer the questions Absolutely. At the end? Would that be okay? Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that.
One thing I want to say, what I've done is I've put some bullets together of what I thought was important. It won't take long, and then we'll get right to the questions. And if we don't have enough questions, well, I've always got stuff I can say. Okay, so I want to let you know that you can be doing the best job possible, supporting your children, doing everything right. Some children do not recover easily. It is a process for them because when parents separate, depending on the age and stage, it is a death for them. They are grieving and mourning the loss of their mom and dad together. It is one of their greatest wishes. When I ask children, when I'm interviewing them for custody and access assessments, it is the number one thing. And it doesn't stop with young children. Even young adults are still grieving the loss of their parents' separation and will always have that wish that they would just get along and stop fighting. Those are children's greatest wishes. So when we're supporting children, it's really important to know, what is it that my child is probably thinking or feeling? What are some of the common thinking and feeling? So I really think it's important too that you really watch the quiet ones in your family, the ones that aren't speaking. those children are probably thinking and they're not talking. So some children are very verbal about how they feel, and you'll see that in their behavior, and you'll see that in their actions, and other children aren't. They all have different reactions. So when we're supporting children through separation and divorce, I think it's really, really important that you get the barometer of that child by asking them, how are you doing? Take some time with them by themselves. How are they doing? And so, sorry, is that, oh, sorry about that. Okay. So asking children how they're doing, asking them direct questions, how they're what they're thinking and how they're feeling. So you could be asking, you know, mom and dad have been apart now for about a month. Like, how are you feeling about that? What are some things that you're thinking about it? So you can use, for younger children, you can use a feeling face chart. For older children, they're fairly adapted at talking. Now, if they aren't talking, I highly encourage you to find support for your child. If you know they're not talking at all and you can see that they're upset. Sorry, just 1 minute, please. One of the hazards from working from home, my family forgot I was on a Zoom call. Okay, so now I left off by saying that it's really important that you connect your child to supports, so that if children are not always comfortable talking to the parents, no matter what kind of a relationship you have. You can have the best relationship with your child. They still may not want to talk to you because they may sense that might burden you. They may sense that they may have a sense of loyalty, that it's not okay because we don't know what's happening in the other home. Maybe there's negative sentiment in the other home. Children are feeling a sense of being in the middle and loyal. So it's important that children have that support, and just making sure that you're reaching out to somebody professional. Okay, the last thing I think I wanted to say was parenting after separation and divorce can be really challenging, as someone had already contributed. So make sure you're taking care of yourself, and get that support if you need that. So those are the major bullets. I mean, I could talk and say a lot of things. This parenting after separation course outlines, everything that I would say, as far as how to support your children. So I'd like to, because I'm conscious of the fact that we have about 25 minutes. So I thought I wanted to open it up to you all now. And let's have a look at some of these questions and comments that you might have had from anything I've had to say. And if there's something I didn't touch on, then please do ask me.
Well, there's a few good ones here. The
Okay.
first one is
Question. Lindy, does the recording stay on for this part?
I think so, because we're not going to.
Usually we shut it off just in case someone wants to ask a personal question.
I guess so. So maybe let's shut it off. And I'm just thinking we shouldn't identify anything or anybody, but on the off chance that we do, let's rather not record it.
Okay, I'll just turn it off then. Just give me a second.